Aidan Caughy is a 22-year-old musician and barista, college graduate. I've been making music since I was much younger. My first instrument was a saxophone. A lot of my music is sci-fi inspired and dance pop inspired. It's always based in confusion, to be honest. I've never made music about something that I feel comfortable with, which I know is a very common thing for songwriters, to use that, like I said, a coping mechanism, just to understand myself, or understand my situation, or my relationships. And for me, that's what I hope doing music always is about. And to listen back, like that feeling of just like making something, like to feel confused and like putting that somewhere else, and then listening back and like having that response to it is so therapeutic. And there's a reason people have always been doing it. Yeah.
This next song is called Milk and Honey.
Yes, I started my first instrument when I was in middle school for the middle school band. And I joined band because my sister was also in band. And I liked the saxophone, and I tested well for it. And naturally with that, I think it was by the 7th grade, I joined the jazz band. That's when I started to learn how to improvise. And that was like the first thing that I did that I like really felt driven with music. As far as it goes for like, when did I start making projects? I started recording, like tracking music in high school. Aside from just like messing around during that whole like SoundCloud rap era with friends, I was also then really moved by like the bedroom pop aesthetic that was going on in like 2018. And I started like recording in Ableton, which has that kind of like lo-fi, indie, jazzy kind of feel to it. Yeah, all the stuff under Caughy has been self-produced now at this point, produced in Ableton. Most of it has been engineered by myself as well, done the mixing and mastering, aside from my EP Cosmo, which was mixed by my buddy Dan Caughy. As far as like seeing the changes in myself as an artist through my previous work, I would say Shimmer is very much so how I felt as someone finishing high school. I made that project my senior year of high school, and it's stylistically like very underproduced. It's like by far the most like bedroom of all my projects, and it is like very youthful and a bit adolescent. And I mean that in both like a positive and more so like it's like obviously my least developed project. And then after that, my EP Cosmo, I consider far more developed, especially just stylistically. And that's when I really felt like I was both experimenting and embracing more influences of sci-fi and kind of like the David Bowie glam rock kind of feel to it. In a lot of ways, I'm really proud of Luna. In that, I definitely think of in the same world sonically as Cosmo. Aesthetically, it takes up a lot of similar spaces. I do find in Luna, I got to have a little more fun. I feel like I even made it dancier and a little like raunchier and a little grittier at times. I definitely think Luna reflects where I was at in my life. I was in the thick of college. I was dealing with all the emotions of being a student and heavy partying. And I'm glad that I embraced a lot of those things in that project, for better and for worse. I definitely think that the live performances reflected that afterwards, especially because around that time when Luna was coming out, I started performing with a full-on band with me, which for a period of time, we were going by Caughy and the Cosmos. And that took like a way more like rock influence. And then when I released Luna, which in a different way is very electronic and dancey and way more EDM based, then in the live it was like a rock band, but it still had that energy of like upbeats and energetic. When it comes to finding different band members, it's always very random. I played with gig players that I have not known at all until we're playing together, and I've played with very close friends before. I've really enjoyed playing with different players. I feel really good about the trio that I'm playing with right now. They're good friends of mine, and I think they're really strong players. And I mean, we were just talking outside how we like all connect very well in this way. Like I think we speak the same language. But with that being said, I definitely see myself as someone who wants to continue changing the live arrangement. Yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is Caughy. I'm joined by Jim on the synth bass and guitar bass, and Noah on the guitar. Thank you for listening. This next song is unreleased. It'll be on my upcoming project called TV Dinner. This one's called Exit.
Why should the people listen to TV Dinner? I think that people should listen to TV Dinner because I think it is going to be a very visceral project. I don't think I've made music in my career that is this reactive. Like it is the sense of yearning, the sense of at times dread is, I think, way more effective than any of the previous work that I've done. Because it's definitely, like I said with Luna and Cosmos, sonically in the same world. A lot of the instrumentation is very similar. I'm still working with synthesizers. I'm still using drum machines. It's not like it's moving into a completely different genre. It's just, its tone is way different. And I want it to feel like the listeners is having a TV dinner by themselves. It's like very unsatisfying. Yeah, you feel like a sense of disconnected. It's leaning into the sci-fi aesthetic in the way of like dystopia, I would say, more so. When it comes to the process of instrumentation for my music, it is very much so bedroom produced workflow. I usually start with chords on my synthesizer, and then I'll make drums to that. And then after that, I will build lyrics on that. And usually the lyrics are like compiled from like lines that I've written down over time. And then once I'm like listening back to what I'm laying down, I kind of like go from there with like, okay, how do I want this melody to sit? What are the lyrics? And then I go from there. And the saxophone I treat very similarly, where it feels like I'm like speaking in that way. It feels like a vocal instrument. The word of the day for Aidan Caughy is us. That is the one word.
Thank you again. You have a good night.